Okay, we're in our over and under position, same as always here. And we're gonna work for an osotogari, or a major outer reaping throw, okay? And we wanna remember a few things. We're gonna start like in more of a classic style of this and then kind of adapt it for what really works, okay? So for now, we're gonna try and put all the weight on this lead leg, okay? So I wanna start parallel and be able to walk almost forward. You don't wanna do this at an angle because it's just really difficult on your shoulder. So we wanna kinda like kazushi pull as we step. That kind of movement, that load, bah! I'm punching up, and the footwork is important. So when I step and stomp, I pull him up to one foot, and then I kick by scraping my toes on the mat. Not like football kick, like not this kind of movement, but sliding. That way we could bypass that leg. If I kick, a lot of times I'm just gonna run into it if I kick with this way. So I wanna kind of roll my toe with my big toe inwards. Do you see this kind of movement right here? In my solo drills, I address maybe 4 or 5 drills where I wanna make sure this happens, where I'm on one foot, I'm able to balance on this one supporting leg and move my reaping leg adequately enough to be able to bypass that lead leg. So turning my toe inward is gonna be able to address that issue. I'm gonna be able to bypass it and get through that leg rather easily, okay? So when I step, boom, my supporting leg isn't too deep. I don't want to end up falling backwards, so I want to step almost parallel with his leg, pull him to that leg, kind of like looking at what time it is and telling someone on the phone what time it is. So it's like, huh, huh, right? Huh. Then I'm going to kick my lead leg, toe inwards, and when I make my reap, then I bend over. I don't want to bend over too soon and take the hip out of the equation. Okay, that's a really common error when I do this, is a kind of a hunchbacking, and now my leg reaps, but I have no power. Okay, so I wanna kind of like be erect here. I wanna be upright with my hip and my head and my foot all in alignment rather than here. Okay, so it's like a, okay, so you want to finish on one foot. You don't want to throw him and have your foot on the mat. So you don't want to like reap and put your foot down. You want your body to act as like a seesaw with your head and your toe on opposite ends of it. So when I reap, I want to follow through. I like to, like when I teach this, say, count to 3 on one foot, then go back to your foot, rather than like, oh, I'm on both feet. It just takes practice to be able to be confident on one foot balancing. I hold my underhook until the very end, and then I post on the mat so I don't roll through and get my back taken. So I'm gonna step, I'm gonna pull him to one foot, I'm gonna reap, sweep. I hold on to this arm. That's where my transitions are gonna lie. Okay, if I just put my hands on the mat, now a scramble's gonna ensue. Where like, whoever's more athletic is gonna win the scramble. If I just throw someone and put my hands on the mat, he's free to shrimp, to come through my legs, to re-roll. Things can happen. So I wanna kind of hold on to that tricep until the end so I can manage to stay on top. Toe turn inwards, balancing on one foot, breathing out. So I'm gonna step. As I step, I'm doing the pulling and kicking. So it's gonna all happen at once. Right? It's much more dynamic that way, to do all those steps simultaneously. And you should be able to feel whether they base out or you got them onto one foot right away. The more you practice it, like if he does base out, you know not to go. You feel it. And you can set up other techniques, like by being able to set up how that transition works if they base out. If they don't base out, you're golden. So I should be able to feel that. I'm gonna throw, holding on, finishing nice and smoothly. Okay, a good way to also train this is moving forwards. So I'm walking with Chaz, right? Nice and fluidly, moving with your partner and timing it. So when I'm moving forward, I'm gonna step and then I'm gonna take a bigger step as I kick, okay? So you're moving forwards, stepping, reaping, and throwing nice and easy, okay? Otherwise it's gonna be a big slam. The goal here obviously is to get that big slam and to land on top, chest to chest in competition. But take care of your partner. A lot of times when you're practicing this, you don't need that. That'll happen naturally. As long as you are good at planting your hand on the mat and being balanced, you're not gonna get re-rolled. Okay, so one time, when our stance is being able to throw explosively without really expending too much energy. Okay, give it a try. That last one was perfect.